Om. 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 Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Harihi Om, Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, Harihi Om. My humble pranams to all Atma Jyotis, divine light of the self. I welcome all of you to today's session of Yoga Vashishta. I am conducting this study hour as a means of my learning. I am not a Pandita, I am not a Jnani, I am not a Guru. I am reading from a book published by Ramakrishna Matham. It's in Telugu language. I am making some notes and I am speaking in English. The purpose is for me to learn and make available my notes so that it may help you. If there are any mistakes, please forgive me. We are studying Yoga Vasishta. In that, we are studying Mumukshu Vyavahara Prakarana. In that Prakarana, we completed 18 chapters, and today we will be discussing chapter number 19, which is about Vicharana inquiry. Sage Vashishta is telling to Sri Rama, O Rama, this entire world, universe, is nothing but cause and effect. Observe carefully, and a person who wants to be liberated should analyze and observe this world carefully with the help of right scriptures. One should do Atma Vicharana, self enquiry, with a sharp mind, sharp intellect, and a pure and holy intellect. Through Vicharana, self enquiry about the self, one will reach the supreme state. The disease of samsara, to cure the disease of samsara, only medicine available is Vicharana. There are many problems in life, in the world. Where are all these dangers coming for me? Only through careful analysis, Vicharana, all the dangers that I am encountering are because of raga and dvesha, likes and dislikes. With the sword of jnana, self enquiry, we should cut this raga and dvesha. A person may be poor, in poverty. A person may face the death of near and dear one. There may be disease in the body. Problems like this may be there. Some other time there might be a happy times. In all these times, person will be deluded, attached to his near and dear people, and the intellect is blinded by the attachment. What is the way out? Let us inquire. A proper inquiry into who am I, what am I, is required. Lot of panditas are there, learned people are there. Even for them, vicharana, inquiry is the only tool. Great saints and sages also used the tool of vicharana to remove their negative qualities and to inculcate positive qualities. Great people also encountered many difficulties, but through careful analysis and vicharana, self inquiry, they came out of it. Vicharana is like a light, it's the inner light which will tell us what is right, what is appropriate, and what is inappropriate, what is wrong. All the saints and sages have crossed the ocean of samsara with the help of vicharana. Mahamoha, the great attachment to the world and the people, covers the viveka, the right thinking, the right discrimination, discernment. Only vicharana, self inquiry, can get rid of the Mahamoha. Ignorant people who do not do vicharana, they are caught in the repeated life and death cycle. And one amongst many will do vicharana. He will say, alas, why am I suffering like this? Why all these difficulties are coming to me? Why am I suffering? Why is this sorrow? What is all this? Who am I? What am I? Where am I going? Where did I come from? Where am I going? These questions come to very few people. And to find answers, they take the help of satsanga, holy company of the people. And to find answers for such questions, this book will be very helpful. This Yoga Vasishta will be very helpful. If a person does vicharana, inquiry into what is truth, what is permanent, what is untruth, what is temporary, what is real, what is like a dream, if it does vicharana like this, inquiry like this, such a person, the doors of liberation will open. Whether it is a material benefit in the material success in the material world or success in the spiritual world, both is possible only through an intelligent person doing careful analysis, vicharana of the problem and finding a solution. Enquiry and effort, these two are required to meet success either in material world or spiritual world. If a person's mind is full of viveka and vicharana, discernment, discrimination, right thinking, and self inquiry, if that person encounters many difficult situations in life, even then that person will not be depressed. A person with the right thinking will have the goal as liberation. He will not be deceived by the magic of the world. In this world, the worldly affairs appears magical, attractive, but in the end they give suffering. And the ignorant people, their only goal in life is to have sense enjoyments. And they will not be trying for liberation. Such a people, we call them as sleeping. They are sleeping due to moha, delusion, confusion. Even though they are awake and doing work, because of their ignorance, we call them as a sleeping person. They are not awake to their true nature. They are awake to the sense pleasures. So, the moha, the delusion, the attachment is the cause of many sufferings. The sleep of moha, sleep of delusion, sleep of attachment, and lack of vicharana, lack of inquiry, both are same. The sleep of moha, moha nidra, is the alcohol which will put the jiva into sleep, deep sleep. Sleep doesn't mean physically sleeping. Sleep means sleeping to the reality, not knowing why I am suffering, how I can come out of the suffering. This ignorance is sleep. Sun is shining in the sky. For the sun, there is no darkness. Similarly, a person with vicharana is like a sun. He will not be immersed in the sense pleasures. I am again and again reminding you, without a careful analysis, if you live, you will be deluded and be deceived by the world. You have to be careful, sharp, and do proper analysis of why you are doing what you are doing, who you are, what you are. Then you can come out of this dangers of the world. Such a mind which does vicharana, inquiry, will bloom, will shine. Alas, lot of people do not do vicharana. They are spending their time unnecessarily running after the mirage, the worldly desires. A child will be afraid of a ghost. Similarly, a person, ignorant person who is without vicharana will take the unreal to be real and suffers. That person, ignorant person, not only he suffers, he makes others suffer also. And that ignorant person, even if you teach him do vicharana, he will not do. He will say, this is all not useful. It will not help me. If you say something, it will not benefit me. Nobody can tell us. This is our fate, this is our destiny. And with this, they will reject the Atma Vichara and obstinately suffer. To such a people, what can we say? How can we save them? We have to keep away from such people, such ignorant people. A ghost appears only in semi darkness. Similarly, the mind which doesn't do vicharana, inquiry into the reality of the world, reality of the self, nature, real nature of the self, such a person will be troubled by the world and he will have many psychological problems. And a person who is without viveka, discrimination, discernment, is like a useless tree in a desert. A mind which is desireless is full of bliss and peace. And such a mind one can get only through vicharana. A person who doesn't do vicharana, self inquiry, cannot get a peaceful mind. Through vicharana, one gets wisdom, a wise thinking. A person with vicharana, self inquiry, not only will he be peaceful, his surroundings will also be peaceful. The people around him will also feel the peace. He will make them peaceful also. In this world, there are many objects, attractions. Till you look carefully, you analyze things, then that attraction will not be an attraction anymore. If you look carefully, everything is a jada padartha, a insentient clod of earth or a metal or a stone. It is without any real essence. This samsara is made up of delusion in the mind. It creates many sorrows, this ignorance. It can only be removed by self inquiry, vicharana, careful analysis and inquiry into the reality of the world, reality, real nature of myself. Then this delusion can be removed. Kaivalya, liberation, is without any sorrow, suffering, a peaceful, blissful mind. And I am speaking it with my own experience. Kaivalya, liberation, can only happen through vicharana. Through Vicharana, one knows this is my real nature, this is my real self. My real nature is Satchidananda Swarupa, existence, consciousness, bliss. My real nature is bliss. My real nature is peace. My real nature is happiness. This will be known by Vicharana. And once you know that your true nature as Satchidananda Swarupi, Shiva Swarupi, Atma Swarupi, all your desires will fall away. All your selfishness will fall away. And the jiva becomes Nishchala, still, silent, peaceful, and Ananda Swarupa. He becomes blissful. One who does vicharana, he will not have any selfish desires and he will not reject anything also. Whatever happens in the life, he will not reject. Neither he will desire for something nor he will reject something. He will reach a peaceful, blissful state. Once the mind becomes peaceful and blissful and becomes Brahma Bhava, all the vasanas, latent impressions of the previous lifetimes will also fall off, go away. And the mind becomes like space, empty. Such a person will be a witness to whatever is happening in the world. He neither lives inside nor outside. He will not be sorrowful, he will not be depressed for anything. He will not have the feeling of, I am the doer, I am doing these things. Therefore, even though his body does work, he does not accrue any karma. And he will not think how long I have to do these karmas because he knows he is non doer, he is akarta. Atma is akarta, non doer. Atma does not do anything. It is the body which does the things. And I am not the body. A jnani, a person with vicharana, viveka will know I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the intellect, I am pure consciousness, Shivaswarupi, Shivoham, Shivoham, Shivoham. And that person, whenever the body has to do some work, will be engaged in such a work that is appropriate to the situation, beneficial to everybody, and beneficial to the society. If he loses something, he will not lament. And if he gains something, he will not be proud. He neither gets depressed nor he gets neither he gets elated. Look at the ocean. The rivers come from various directions and enter into ocean, but the level of ocean does not rise. Similarly, different happenings in the world will happen, but the Viveki, the one with the Vicharana, will not be perturbed by the happenings of the world. O Raghava, there are many people, many saints and sages who have acquired Jivan Mukti, liberated while alive, by doing Vicharana. and they are roaming freely on the face of earth. And when the body falls, they will attain Videha Mukti. I am proclaiming that Vicharana is very, very important. As an example, I'll tell you, take an emperor. If that emperor has any difficult situation in his kingdom, what will he do? He will call for a meeting of his ministers and they will analyze the situation, discuss, analyze, and take appropriate action. Similarly, in our life, we are facing many difficulties. We have to do a careful analysis, vicharana, careful self inquiry we have to do. Through vicharana only, a human being will know what is right in karma kanda, what is right in jnana kanda of the Vedas. He knows this is dharma, this is adharma, this is appropriate, this is inappropriate. Through vicharana only, the person will know. This is evident in the worldly affairs. In any action you do proper analysis, and only then you decide what is right for the situation. It is common knowledge. The same way of inquiry you have to apply in the domain of spiritual knowledge. You have to find out who am I, what is my true nature, why am I suffering. You have to do a careful analysis. Without doing analysis, why are you leaving it just like that? Don't succumb to emotions. Do careful analysis and find out from where these sufferings are coming from, these sorrows are coming from. And through analysis, you find the answers to why you are suffering. The eye of vicharana, eye of inquiry, is not like the physical eye. Physical eye cannot see in the dark. Physical eye, persons may be physically blind, but I do not consider physical blindness as blindness. A person who doesn't think carefully, rightly, and does not do analysis of the things is spiritually blind. Those who do not have the eye of wisdom is the real blind person. His condition is deplorable. A person with wisdom, with eye of wisdom, is commendable. Such a person with the eye of wisdom will reach the liberation. Therefore, do not let go of viveka, right thinking. The sages and saints, jnanis, will teach Atma Jnana to only a viveki, a person with right thinking. Those who take recourse to viveka, discrimination, discernment, they will not fall into the pits of ignorance. Not doing analysis, not thinking about something, about why you are unhappy, why you are sorrowful, is like a spiritual suicide. Such an ignorant person will take birth again and again in many life forms and suffers endlessly. Even a poisonous arrow also will not cause such problems as a person who suffers without knowing, without thinking why he is suffering. What is the use of being born as a human being if you don't inquire about yourself? Being born as a human being is a great opportunity. You should inquire, who am I? Who am I? What am I? Why am I suffering? How do I get rid of suffering? It's a great opportunity, human life. Otherwise, it is better to be born as a frog in a well or an insect or like a snake without careful analysis. Not doing careful analysis causes the difficulties and the sufferings to come. The jiva faces many difficulties and sufferings. This is because of lack of vicharana, lack of inquiry. Raga and dvesha, likes and dislikes, craving and hatred. This is the dark pit. In this dark pit, the jiva, the individual, if that person takes recourse to vicharana, careful inquiry of what is this raga and dvesha, why I am having these likes and dislikes, why am I suffering, it may be possible for that person to come out of that dark pit. Who am I? Where is this samsara coming to me? Why am I in this samsara? What is the problem? Why am I facing these problems? These are the questions Jiva has to ask himself or herself. To get answers, such person should approach Sadgurus, sadhus, saints, serve them and ask questions and get answers. And do vicharana, careful analysis in their mind. Why am I suffering? One should ask themselves. Such inquiry one should do. The heart of a person who doesn't do inquiry is like a stone. It's a blind heart. Such a heart will face many emotional disturbances. O Rama, on this earth, infinite people are taking birth and dying. Only select few will ask the question, who am I? What am I? Where am I coming from? Where am I going to? Why am I facing all these sufferings? And they make effort to get rid of their suffering, trying to know what is truth, what is untruth, what is permanent, what is temporary. Such people take refuge in vicharana, careful analysis. Other than this, there is no other path, there is no other technique. From vicharana, if you do vicharana, you will get the right knowledge. From right knowledge, you will get peace of mind. From peace of mind, destruction of sorrow will happen. Therefore, only vicharana can lead to peace of mind and destruction of sorrow. There is no doubt about it. All the people, they do materialistic work, worldly work, after thinking a lot. But when it comes to their emotional disturbance, they don't think. They don't think, why am I getting this disturbance? Why am I not peaceful? They don't do careful analysis. Therefore, the spiritual vicharana also has to be done. Basically, analyze why you are getting disturbed. Without inquiry, if a person acts in the world, he will act out of his emotional disturbance, anger, hatred, jealousy, pride. He will destroy himself and he will destroy others also. All this happens because a person is not inquiring, is not doing analyzing carefully his mental status, his emotional status. Therefore, Rama, may enquiry, self enquiry your be favorable to you. You will may you be favorable to self enquiry. With this, chapter number 19 has come to an end. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Sri Krishna Arpanamastu.